As you can see, these cuttings have been in the greenhouse for probably about 20 days now. And you can see that the cut is completely dried. It's very scarred. And so these are pretty much ready to plant. When we started with the project, we were using potting media that we bought. It's called super soil, essentially right out of the bag. This is the mix. For no other reason than it was readily available at some of the local garden stores. It's relatively cheap, and we could get it, on a as-needed basis. So we didn't have to order in large quantities. Whenever we need a bag, we went and got what we need and used it that way. Also, some growers have successfully rooted cuttings, and actually they prefer to do it in straight perlite. This works quite well as well, and is a very inert media, so if you use this for rooting, your cuttings are going to be clean and the chances for rotting are going to be minimal, and so it works quite well. So we started playing out with a combination of both, super soil for readily available, and then with perlite to get more air into the mix. And we ended up finding out that the best mix for us was what we call a 50-50 mix of perlite and super soil by volume. So we just blend this in, and it tends to expedite the rooting process significantly. When we started transplanting or propagating, we were using number 1 containers, 1-gallon containers, and lately we've been using quite successfully the 4-inch liners, which require a lot less plant material, potting media, and even the bigger cuttings work quite well as well. So this is a plant, put it in a 4-inch liner, and you can tell that essentially it's a matter of choice really what you want to do, but they all work quite well. You water them, you want to keep an eye on the water, more so in the smaller container because it doesn't hold as much water as the larger containers. But essentially you don't need a lot of water when you're propagating dragon fruit. I would say water them about once a week, make sure the soil is wet but not saturated. You don't want them to be soaked in water. You want air in the plant so that the roots can develop. So you end up with, this is a variety called Vietnamese sweet, or just labeled Vietnamese sweet. And you can see it's a plump cutting, but you can just pull it, and this little plug goes right into the planting hole, and it works beautifully. The root ball holds up really well. You gotta be careful not to let them in your pots for too long, because then you get root bound. You can see the roots growing kind of in circles and also growing upwards. So this is kind of what you want to see. We have another variety. This is variety Guatemalensis. So again, nice root ball, very compact. And this is ideal because all the roots stay together with the media, which is a challenge when you use bigger containers because the roots break apart once you take them out of the pot. And once you get plants that are looking like this, where you know that you have a nice root system, it's time to take them out to the field. Some varieties can be misleading because you will see shoots on the cuttings before you actually grow roots. So you got to be careful in terms of paying attention to the root zone and try to not to go by the shoots, but go by the root system, because that's what's going to ensure that you have a plant that will thrive and that will grow as fast as you want it to grow.